Hi, today is the review of the Firewire Seaside by Rob Machado. It's been a while since my last review and I did say I would do a Seaside review. The reason it's took me so long is I filmed this 3 or 4 times, maybe possibly 5 or 6, and I was never happy with the results, and the popularity of the baked potato video made this one a hard one to follow up with. A bit like bands when they say the first album was really easy to do and their follow-up album was really hard. It felt like that. But I'll do my best to describe what I feel and think about the board and let you know what I think makes it a great board and any possible flaws it has. It's 46 litres of volume. It's actually 46.5. It's the 6.1, which is at the very top range of this board. 22, 15, 16, which makes it just a hair under 23 inches wide and 3 inches thick. So with those dimensions, it's not, you know it's going to be a good paddler and a good catcher. I don't really need to go on about that because it does it all. It does it very well. What is surprising is how much high performance it actually has in this board. When Rob Machado first tested his version of this out, he wanted a desert island board that would go in any condition, and he tested it out in tubing chopu. So that gives you an idea how much this board can cope with, and my experiences on this board is it does love a punchy hollow wave. It actually, the more critical and the more powerful the wave becomes, the more this board shines. There's been quite a few different fin combos that have been put out there online. Once again, it's the extra large performers with the medium quad rears. Now, I was riding, to begin with, the split keels, and there's another YouTuber called Dave. He's got a very good channel. He on his video and a few other guys, they all recommended this fin. Now I totally agree with what they were saying. This board with this fin setup, magic. And I was surfing this non-stop until one day I lost one of the quad rears. Twins. Now I've heard other people say this board can be surfed as a twin fin. Now these are the FCS2 power twin fins, so they're quite a modern, got quite a modern outline to them. And so I took my 3 remaining fins out, chucked these in and surfed it solely as a twin fin. And once again, no surprises, the board was phenomenal. It's just such a good board. Back to my good old friends, the Performer XL and the Raptor quad rears. This for me, it's only slightly better than this setup though. I'll show you the difference in the actual. There you go. So there's the difference right there. So just a bit more of an upright to the split keel, and you got a bit more curve with the Performer XL. With that, the Rob Machado fins that actually come with this board I've never used, because what I've read online and what I've been told by other people, a guy of my size and power will just overpower them and they won't work ideally in this kind of volume of board and size. So the one I've landed on, and it's my personal favourite, is the extra large FCS2 quad rears, fronts with the medium Raptor rears. So with these upright fins in the rear, it helps the board turn really snappily and really quick, but these give it enough hold to cover this wide tail, but still giving you that excellent ability to turn. Now, so really I am using the best of both. I'm still using the same rears you get in that fin setup. The only thing I'm really changing is the construction and the fronts. And with these you have a nice bit of flex, so they give a little bit of forgiveness when the wave might die or you want that little bit more snap. These fins will help that, where the Matt Biolos split keels are glass, so they're very stiff and there's less forgiveness with them. Not that being this board you need much forgiveness, because it is a forgiving board anyway. One of the reasons it's high performance is because it's nice thinned out tail. It's really, in comparison to its volume, if you can see that there, the tail is very thinned out. So even though it's a big package and got a lot of meat through the midsection, if you see there now, it's got a lot of volume packed through the middle of the board, but it tapers the volume out nice and thinly towards the end. I mean, it's like it's short board thickness back here, but it's fish volume at the front. On this board to my other boards is the amount of traction I have. On my other boards, normally I'll have one piece here, possibly full cluster. But on this board, I found I didn't need it. My feet would land here, or here, depending on the wave size and speed. Next thing we'll do, we'll jump into its contours and I'll let you know what they look like. So as usual, starting in the nose, so I can feel that there's like a belly to the nose, and I can see a little bit of concave starting now. Shallow concave, getting quite aggressively deep quite quickly. So really deep single concave now. Deep single concave still. Concave still, and we're just in front of the fins here now. Just here is where we're getting to just around the helium logo. It's starting to turn into that deep double concave that's talking about, which is very similar to the sweet and baked potato. Really similar. This is roughly where they start also. So now we're going into a really aggressive deep double concave. Really deep. But now we're starting to get, we're going into the V now, just behind the fins. If you can see, it's just starting to rock a little bit and then just flat on those tips. So we have just a little bit of V just about here, flat and out on the tips, and a deep double concave from a very deep single, and about a roll around here. A lot of guys I've heard of have gone too small with these and tried to be, you know, get sucked into that vortex of you have to be riding a 5.8 or a 5.7. I would say just ride what you think you're going to enjoy, because that's the whole point of surfing. Don't be worried about how it looks in your car or in the car park or on the beach. What matters is how much you enjoy the board when you're actually riding it. I could get away with surfing a 5.11 and be like, well, it looks better when I'm pulling it out of the car, but I don't care about that. So I went to 6.1 to get the volume I wanted, to get the wave catching I wanted, because our waves aren't that great, they're not that powerful half the time, so focus is on fun, not working at it. So I've gone the 6.1, which is the highest one in this range, but definitely don't be afraid to put more volume in your board and up your fun factor. Okay, thanks a lot. Even though this board at 6.1 is pretty much my standard length, if you took all my boards into average, it's my standard length. The reason there's no grip here is I don't need it. The minute I take off on this board, the highest my foot will go is roughly here to roughly about here, and the minute I'm comfortable on the wave and I feel it's going my way, I might just shimmy this back just a touch and get my foot right over here and initiate those nice top and bottom snaps and turns. This board, it just has such a nice glide and flow to it that, unlike some other boards where you need to manoeuvre your feet and manipulate your feet in position in the board to help you gain speed or anything like that, or control the board, with this board, it just, for me, it just feels natural. The minute I stand up, I know my feet are in where they need to be. and I can concentrate on what the wave's doing rather than what the board's doing. That's half the battle. So for me, this Rob Machado Seaside, the reason it's a bestseller all around the world is because it's so good. It is really good. I'd recommend it to anybody. Be it, if you're learning, obviously stick with your minimal or your foamy, but the minute you start getting into waves nice and early and engaging those bottom turns, top turns, anything like that, then definitely look at getting one of these. These are amazing, and Rob Machado himself, there's a lot of footage of him surfing this particular model up to a 7.0, so I won't be surprised if before long they start upping the length in these from the 6.1 that I have now up to the 7.0, because he's ripping on it. And let's face it, we just want to have fun, but imagine this in a 7.0, I know I'd get one, definitely. So yeah, it's just a phenomenal board. I can't say enough good things about it. Anyway, I hope too many people don't get them because everybody's going to be fighting over the waves then, but yeah, it's a great board. It really is a great board, and thanks for watching.